Well, hello there. So, as everybody knows, the fifth episode of House of the Dragon has came out. Well, since you clicked on the video, you already know that. That's logic 101. And the reactions were varied. Some people thought it was a masterpiece and a perfect episode that reminded us of Game of Thrones times, and others thought it was a boring and filler episode. And as always, both are wrong. So here's my take on it, and of course it's the best opinion since I'm a genius and well versed in art. So, first things first. My general impression of this episode is I think it's a very good episode. Overall, it's probably the best or the second best of the season after the fourth one. Both are the least rated on IMDb. Well, apparently watching and understanding are two completely different tasks. So, as I said, it's a very good episode. If you lost interest in the show or something like that, I think this episode could bring you back. And I think there was a great effort made, especially in terms of writing. But, it's not a perfect episode and it's not a masterpiece. And I can't recall if there is a perfect episode in all House of the Dragon. So now, just before we dig deep into the episode, let's do a quick summary of the last episodes. For those who use their phone and watch. I mean, come on, your brain is already rotted and you just keep scrolling. So, Aegon kissed the gang boss feet. An act a lot of foot fetish people were jealous of. Aemond went to Harrenhal, did some sword shit, then got knocked down by Alice River's magic. Rhaenyra fed the Lord's rats. Apparently there were no biologists at that time to protest. Some public outcry and protest has happened. Rhaenyra was called the Queen of Bastards and got angry. I don't know why she got angry. I mean, you are the Queen of Bastards. At least make the efforts of dyeing their hair. Helena is apparently not that innocent. She's pregnant with a child from Aemond, we don't know yet. Now, after this quick summary, let's move on to this episode 5. So, we will start with the positives, then the negatives, then inspect some timelines and specific scenes, and rank the characters and timelines from worst, pleasant to best. And speak of the devil, the first positive point of this episode is the number of timelines. We nearly have 5 timelines here and in 3 places. We have Daeron and Armand Hightower, we have Aegon and Larys, we have Aemond and Alice Rivers, we have Daemon and Rhaenyra, we have Alicent and Helena, and we have Sarah Crispin Cole. So this gives the episode the diversity it needs and reminded us of peak Game of Thrones moment when we had Jon on the Wall, Tyrion in King's Landing, Dany in Asos, and so on. And surprisingly, all those timelines were written properly. The second thing is the dialogue. The dialogue is much better than the previous episode, especially the first 3. And it's probably better than the second season. Still not great compared to Game of Thrones, especially the first 4 seasons, but at least people know each other. It was consistent with the character's nature, it was consistent with the time period, it served the plot, not the outside agenda. Did you hear that, Sarah? And it moved the characters. We have major decisions that have been made in this episode because of the dialogue. Now, the third positive thing is the character's approach. That's probably the first time where Daemon treated good since Harrenhal Freuden incest dreams. We are finally witnessing the development of characters, their conflict and personal desires, the challenges they face and overcome, and all of those things were written in a very good way. Now, the fourth thing, and pay attention to this point because not many people have noticed that, is the callbacks. In this episode, we got a lot of callbacks from the previous seasons, in particular season 1. And all of them are great and consistent, except a small detail concerning Aemond. Now, the fifth positive thing, and the last one, is the episode name. The episode name is Unbound and Unbent, which is the Martell's word. And it summarizes the episode perfectly, and it summarizes one of the characters also perfectly. And the name was given indirectly in the episode, so it moved it to a next level. Now moving on to the negatives, and there were only 3 negatives. They were in a few scenes. I mean, this episode has like 20 scenes, 16 of them are very good, but sorry, I could not turn a blind eye. They were major negative points. The first thing is the execution of some scene, in particular 2 scenes. And what I mean by execution is this. I mean, if you have a good idea on paper That's not enough for it to make a great scene. I mean, I have an idea of getting a PhD in math. That's that's a good idea. However, I must work hard in university to get that. The first scene I was talking about is Sir Crispin attack on the Riverlands army. I mean, how the hell the soldiers came out of thin air, and how the hell Cole just appeared from nothing like he's a Batman. And when an army comes, they send scouts to check the neighborhood safety. You know, that's a lesson Jaime Lannister learned in the hard way. Also, the last scene, and even though people liked it very much and cheered about it, but I will tell you later why it's a bad scene, especially in terms of execution. I mean, where's Damon and how he got there, and how those strong people just got killed? And for what? A cheap plot twist and a cliffhanger? Remember, ideas can't make a great television, execution does. Now, the second negative thing is the logic behind the decisions. So, here's a quick logic lesson. When we infer logical conclusion, the premises must be valid and sound. For example, every human dies. Socrates is a human. Therefore, Socrates died. That's a valid argument. Now let's take another example. Some humans are rich. Socrates is a human. Therefore, Socrates is rich. Wrong. But congratulations, you just described House of the Dragon logic. Now why this is wrong and stupid? Because he simply could be rich or he could be not. We said some people are rich. Not all of them. So when we came to Alicent and Helena, what the hell would happen if the queen knows? Rhaenyra would have two choices. Either would force her to drink the moon tea, or, as I like to call it, the abortion potion. The abortion potion. Good rhyme, right? I hope the feminists will not protest. So, as I said, she would either give her the choice of drinking the abortion potion, or she would kill her. And since killing her means killing her child also, she would be forced to drink the abortion potion. Again, logic 101. And another thing, what the hell is the usefulness of Mysaria? I mean, come on, Varys used to know what people say in their sleep, and she does not know what's happening in the next room. Oh, wait a minute. That's her usefulness. And the third thing is, man, just enough with the coincidences. Why the hell Helena has discovered the secret isle by coincidence? Why the hell she has not discovered it before, since that's her life room? And why the hell the torch falls? And why the hell Tywin Lannister suddenly respawned near to Aegon and Larys? But at this point, Westeros is ruled by coincidences, not politics. So now we will inspect each timeline in a little detail and rank them from worst to best. And as I said before, this episode have 5 timelines. Starting with Daeron and Aemond. First, we notice two things. The conflict of Daeron between his own desire of winning and entertainment and between Ormond's desires and how he wanted to please him, which was executed in a great way. And despite what people say, I think Daeron until now is a great character. And the second thing we learn about is Miriam Martell, which was the Dornish queen when Aegon invaded the Seven Kingdoms, or 6 kingdoms, and how she did not bend or bow to Aegon, which is something Ormond is doing right now. Moving on to King's Landing and the Flea Bottom, and I want to say that in this episode and with the previous episode, Rhaenyra nearly lost all my support due to her stupidity and idiotic action. And yes, I am Team Black, or I was Team Black, due to many reasons. The most important one of them, of course, is the Rob Prince, my boy Damon, and also because of the prophecy, which I think the show and Ryan Condal had a disastrous thing about it. But that is something for the final review. Yes, there will be a final review of the season. I mean, you do not honor your vows. You do not give your servants the rewards they need and deserve. You do not know how to handle the public outcry. And then you expect to keep allies and people support you. Why? Because you're entitled to? I mean, that's Stannis Baratheon level of narcissism. By the way, Stannis loathed Rhaenyra, and as fate would have it, he's very similar to her. And man, enough with the words my, me, mine. These words just irritate people and prove how narcissistic you are. Especially that you are a woman. Concerning Daemon, I liked Daemon's arc in this episode. I liked how he got questioned first, and whether he lost his ability to motivate his people or to lead them, and whether these people even look up to him. And you know what? Sir Luther is right. Daemon has not been around for 20 years. based on what he expects those soldiers and those people to believe in him. I liked his words to Rhaenyra and how he repeat his ideas that you possess strength, you have dragons what made us kings, etc., 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 which is one of the callbacks I was talking about. And I liked how his speech and how he managed to motivate his people. Unfortunately, that didn't last long. Now moving on to Viserys' sons. And Viserys, I mean you hit the genetic lottery. One-eyed, cripple, whore, and a weirdo. You know, Viserys has the greatest contribution to Westeros' genetic makeup. Anyway, as I said, we see great callbacks from season 1 concerning Aemond and Aegon. Starting with Aemond, we see his mommy issues, we see his words about how he was mistreated and abused. The only thing that I did not get is the part where he said he worshipped Aegon. I don't think in any moment or any episode in season 1 we see that he worshipped Aemond. It was a normal brothers relationship. I liked how they both think their mother favors the other. That's just to prove how Alicent was a very great mother. And moving on to one of the worst scenes where Aemond appeared from nothing and turned to Prime Arthur Dayne to save Alice Rivers. I mean, come on, I did not know childhood trauma and mommy issues give you teleportation power. Moving on to Aegon, and one of the best scenes in the episode, if not in the season, is his talk with Larys Strong. I mean, it seems that Larys has just fed up with Aegon and his whinging and can't tolerate anymore. He just told him straight, bro, you are a shitty king and a shitty person. You are giving everything and you just waste it. So shut the fuck up and stop whinging. And what I liked more about this scene, that it was not a passing scene, but no, it made an impact and encouraged Aegon to accept himself and accept moving to Pentos. And you know what they say, sometimes the best therapy session is getting roasted by Larys Strong. And finally we came to the Sir Crispin Cole and his idiotic heroism, which cost him half his army. And suddenly he turned into a cynical, absurd philosopher who wants to die in a brave way. Alicent could hear songs about him. I mean, bro, I just got angry when I see your face. Now moving on to the final scene, which ironically combine all of those timelines. We see Criston Cole wards, we see Ormond and Daeron conspiracy, we see Alicent and Helene escape, we see Daemon traveling in time to witness the Last Supper. And when I tell you these events all happened in one scene, you would say, oh, that's a great scene. But forgive me, ideas can't make a great show. Execution does. And the execution was bad. First, how the hell Alicent and Helena has just discovered the hidden door, and why the hell the torch fell. And then what is Daemon, and how he got there, and how those people are killed. I mean, if there is a conspiracy, just show it to me, and don't surprise me for a cheap plot twist and a stupid cliffhanger. I mean, even the Red Wedding conspiracy was shown to me, and believe me, you will not out-top that. So, the timeline rankings. In 5th place, Alicent. In 4th, Aemond. In 3rd, Daeron. In 2nd, my boy Daemon. And 1st, Aegon and Larys. And I don't know, is it a message? Aegon in 1st, Daemon in 2nd. 1st son, 2nd son. So, overall, I think it's a very good episode. And after this discussion, I think it's the best of the season, not the second best. And it deserves a solid 8.7. I'm very excited to see the next episode. That's it. Tell me in the comments whether you agree or you are objectively wrong. That's it. See you later.
I must say, Your Grace.
What?
All this time we've been together. From the moment you were injured, in fact, flying drunk into a battle to which you were not invited. You've done nothing but whinge and self-flagellate with a tenacity I find astonishing. You, who had every advantage in life. You, who had every chance to shine. Firstborn son, Prince of the Realm, the finest tutors, the finest knights, instructing you on the sword. A dragon so beautiful they named him after the sun itself. You could have risen to greatness. But instead you trampled your birthright in the mud. You lazed, reveling in mediocrity fucking anything in sight and drinking yourself into oblivion with your sycophantic friends. I will tell you the truth. You were a terrible king. But worse than that, you are a terrible